My daughter banned me from her wedding, so I secretly canceled everything I paid for. My 27-year-old daughter Isabella forbade me from attending her wedding last week. I've been drinking and wallowing ever since. Her wedding, which I financed completely, was scheduled for yesterday. It was supposed to be my wedding gift to her since she and her fiancé were struggling financially and couldn't afford a proper celebration. What do I get in return for my generosity? I was banned from attending my own daughter's wedding. The devastation is beyond words. Isabella was always a challenging child, so when she told me about her wedding plans, I was relieved she was finally settling down with someone she loved. I had nightmares raising her, but I helped anyway since they couldn't plan a decent wedding without financial support. A few days ago, I called the wedding planner to add my brother to the guest list, but he claimed it was full. When I asked him to email me the complete guest list, he said Isabella had instructed him to keep it private. I informed him that since I was her father and covering all expenses, they'd better follow my instructions. Despite his reluctance, he sent me the list after I threatened to call his boss. My heart sank when I discovered that neither my wife nor I were listed anywhere on the guest list. I called the wedding coordinator again, insisting there must be an error. He clarified that he'd been expressly instructed not to include our names, then shared the email exchange between him and Isabella. I couldn't believe it. They'd been told to prevent us from entering the venue, which made everything worse. Although I knew about my daughter's animosity toward me, I never imagined it would reach the point where she'd ban me from her own wedding. She was at her bachelorette party that day, so when I frantically called, her phone went to voicemail. She didn't return my calls that day or the next, despite my message requesting she do so. I arrived at her apartment where she and her fiancé were living on the third day, right before the wedding. She claimed she was too busy getting ready to meet with me, clearly avoiding me since the wedding planner had informed her that I knew about the guest list. I went there to confront her, but her attitude simply made me more furious. When I told her I knew she'd prevented me from attending the wedding, her response was callous. Good for you. That saves you time and effort. If I have time, I'll send you wedding photos. I went completely insane. There was no explanation, no regret, no apology. Her cruelty brought tears to my eyes as I questioned what I'd done wrong to deserve this treatment. She said I'd always mistreated her, first by bringing a stepmother into her life, then by siding with others even when she was wrong. She wanted me to defend her unconditionally, even when she harassed my sister's daughter or was caught using drugs in school. I did defend her and prevented her expulsion. I helped her get into college, but she remained unappreciative despite everything I accomplished. She accused me of creating negativity in her home when she saw me crying. I reminded her that I was paying for her wedding, and she became hostile, claiming I owed her this and wasn't doing her any favors. I lost control and told her I owed her nothing. This wedding was a favor, and I'd done more than enough. She said she didn't have time for my emotional drama and asked me to leave. When I got home, I broke down completely in front of my wife Miranda, who is Isabella's stepmother. Miranda is good-hearted and forgiving, yet she became enraged for the first time when she witnessed me cry. She urged me to do something about Isabella's entitled behavior that was harming us both. Until a year ago, Isabella had been surviving off my money since she didn't have steady employment. She had no savings for her wedding because of this dependency. I'd had enough and decided to teach her a lesson. I called off all the wedding arrangements. I didn't care that I barely received any money back from advance payments. I canceled the wedding planner and venue, but I waited until the last moment so Isabella couldn't make alternative arrangements. I intended to ruin her special day. I allowed her to keep her dress since she already had it. All of this made me feel terrible, but after reflection, I knew I'd done more than enough for her. Why should I feel bad about disrupting her wedding when she felt nothing about excluding me? On the wedding day, when the coordinator, caterers, and decorators arrived at the venue, security turned them away after showing them the cancellation email. This sparked chaos. When the wedding planner called asking for final payment, I told them I was no longer involved and they could speak with Isabella. They informed me that venue security had denied Isabella access, leading to a confrontation where she nearly got arrested for trespassing before her fiancé intervened. When she tried calling me, I'd already blocked her number. When she arrived at my property, I denied her entry at the main gate. I wanted peace and wasn't afraid of her confrontation. Talking was pointless since, like when I visited her, her comments would only make me feel worse. She needed accountability for her actions and couldn't be repeatedly forgiven like a child. Isabella wanted only friends at her wedding, not family, so I honored her decision. Fortunately, she had to explain the cancellation to her friends herself. My parents were the only ones unhappy with my actions, saying we should never treat our children cruelly regardless of their behavior. I informed them that Isabella caused all of this with her lifelong cruelty and selfishness. No matter how hard I try to defend my actions, guilt still remains. I pretend to be strong, but I secretly regret canceling my own daughter's wedding. Writing this down has relieved some pressure from my heart, even though I'm unsure why I'm sharing this story. Sometimes the people who can hurt us most are our own children, and there comes a point where enough is simply enough.